Hello, this is Patrick at OneCNC West, and what we're going to do in this training video is take a look at profiling multiple shapes. Now, in our last profiling example with Mill Project 1, we just profiled one contour. So let's take a look now at profiling multiple contours. We're going to head back over here to the main toolbar. We'll select our stock toolpaths and then Mill Profile. Now once I do that, my cursor changes to the word Start. So it wants me to select the very beginning where I want to start profiling. I'm simply just going to left click right here. As soon as I do that, I get these four arrows. Now these arrows determine the side and the direction that I'd like to cut. So I want to climb cut on the inside, so I'm going to left-hand mouse click. As soon as I do that, my cursor changes to the word End, and it wants me just to select the very end where I want to terminate my profile. Well, I'd like to profile all the way around, so I could left-click the arc right here, or if you want to, just hit the F3 key on the keyboard. Function key 3 will select the rest of the geometry. And notice once I do that, my cursor again changes to the word Start. So I want to start to profile this pocket right here. So I'm going to left click. Again, I want to climb cut on the inside, so I'm going to left click that arrow. And to select the rest of the geometry, I'll just hit the F3 key. Let's do that again down here. We're going to left click. We're going to left click the arrow to climb cut on the inside, and then we'll hit the F3 key. And now that we're done selecting, we're just going to right-hand mouse click. Alright, so this is where we select our tool, and again, this is very similar to all the other previous machining operations we've looked at. I'm going to say this is going to be in turret position number 4. Let's give this an RPM of 2800. Let's give it some coolant. That looks good. And for a feed rate, I'm going to put in 5 mil for that. All this looks good. We have an end mill. The length is how far the tool sticks out past the holder. And for a diameter, why don't we use, let's go with 12 millimeters for that. Looks good. Alright, so here's our rapid plane. I'm going to put that to 10 mil. Our plunge clearance, this is where the tool is going to start to feed down. I have that set to 3. The material top, that's set to Z0. You can see this is very nicely graphically laid out for us. So the top of the material Z, and the final Z depth is going to be minus 15. That looks great, so I'll click Next. Alright, so there's two different toolpath styles you can select from. You have cut levels. That's going to take the tool position down to your first depth of cut, profile all the way around, and then reposition to the next depth of cut, profile all the way around. And then we also have one here called ramp. So why don't we use ramp for this? I'm going to use a ramp angle of 10 degrees, and then for the maximum ramp depth, I'll put in 4. This just means that the ramp will never exceed that amount there. So we'll click Next on there. Don't need to worry about this step over because I'm not taking multiple concentric passes in X and Y. Don't need to worry about that. We'll leave on sides 0. Click Next. I don't need an extra finish pass because this is going to be the finish pass, so I'll say no to that. All that looks good. Now this is how we lead in and lead out, and you can choose different styles for this. I'm going to go with line arc, and for the lead in radius, let's see, why don't we put in 3 mil for that? And for the angle, we'll say 45 degrees. And I'm going to put 0 for our start line length and start line angle because I'm not really wanting this line right here. I just really want an arc. Now for the exit values, we can select the exact same options if you want to, or you can simply click the little down arrows here and it will populate your exit values with everything you put in for your entry values. Let's go ahead and click Finish on there. And there we go. There's our multiple profiling. And notice how each pocket's been spiral cut. And when the cut gets to the very bottom of the pocket, it makes one more pass at the very bottom just to clean everything up. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.